name is Dan Tyler. I was born in Philadelphia, and my father, when he came back from the war, decided that we should all leave and go out west to Colorado. So basically, I grew up in Colorado. Most of my family was back in Philadelphia. I didn't know very much about them because I left at a pretty early age. And when I found out that my grandfather had passed away in 1947, it was a bit of a shock to me. But I didn't think much about it until college years, when I was going to school in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I'd come down to visit my grandmother, who was still alive at that time. And over those years and the time period after that, I thought a lot about my grandparents and wondered a little bit how they were able to build a very elegant estate in Bucks County, while the rest of the country was suffering a very difficult depression. So when the pandemic hit, I was going to give a little bit of an update to my family about this Philadelphia connection. We couldn't meet for 2 years, so I had more time to investigate and research my grandfather. And when I finished that work, I wrote this book called Bucks County Benevolent Squire, in search of George Frederick Tyler. And I'd like to read a little portion of this book that I wrote, which reflects the conclusions that I came to when I finished the research. As a result of their wealth, both Stella, my grandmother, and GFT, my grandfather, seem to have felt a responsibility to society, what we call noblesse oblige. While it may seem awkward to compare their privileged lives to those of regular people who suffered so much during the Great Depression, the fact remains that the GFTs put a lot of people to work, and they saved many who might otherwise have been victims of the economic collapse. One might contend that they could have done more. I would find no fault with that argument. But compared to the rest of the Philadelphia gentry, they did pretty well. Furthermore, in pursuit of both their personal and professional interests, they created an ongoing legacy that stands today not just in bricks and mortar, forests and glens, but in a graceful way of life that might serve as a model for any generation. GFT was a gentleman. In his behavior towards others, he represented by example the chivalric code of 15th century knights: humility, gratitude, courage, justice, generosity. Stella was equally the lady. Together they set an example that would be most appropriate today, especially today. They both understood the meaning of honor, courtesy, and grace.